Hey, good morning. This is Chaplain Bailey.
Well, hello everybody. How you guys doing here this Wednesday evening? Man, hey, I am happy that you've decided to stop by and check in with me. That's what this is a weekly check-in. Man, I spent a large portion of my day in a dentist, so I don't know about you, but I just hate going to the dentist. It's always a challenge, but definitely need it for obvious. I shouldn't say for obvious reasons, because maybe not so. Let me get rid of that picture down there. I don't need that. There we go. Not so much for obvious reasons, man. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. If you're watching this live or on demand, definitely happy that you have decided to take time out of your day, take time out of your evening to stop by and just say hello. Hey, put a comment down in the chat. Would love to connect with you. But I want to get right to the point. The whole purpose of the check-in, the weekly check-in, is to be quick and to the point. So here's a question I have: Do you ever think that there are people out there that are better than you? Do you ever deal with the fact that there are people out there who you are in the same vein of creativity as they are, but they are a whole lot better at it than you are? Right? Let me get my sound pad ready. They're a whole lot more. How about this? They are a whole lot more gifted. They have a lot more followers. Their business is a lot more productive. They have a lot more people engaged and involved in what they're doing. And you just simply know that they're better than you. But there's a problem with having that kind of mentality or thinking or focusing on that, because when we focus our attention on competitiveness and we judge what we are doing or what we are trying to do against someone else, it can derail us, right? And so this is not to say that this is not to say that competitiveness is not a necessity for market growth. So competitiveness isn't a necessity for market growth. But what I'm talking about is something deeper than that kind of competitiveness. I'm talking about the competitiveness that causes negative responses from you, that causes you to go into a very dark place because you feel like you should be either where that person you are comparing yourself is in their creative process. And what happens is we have a tendency to want to give up, right? When we are not when we're not getting the same results that the other person is getting, that we are comparing ourselves to. And so if you're listening to this on demand, just put a comment in the chat and let me know, hey, yeah, this is something that I definitely struggle with as a content creator. I struggle with as a business owner. I struggle with this at my job, with people that have been promoted over me, even though I'm more talented and gifted than they are. So yes, this is a problem. So just make a comment in the chat. And I want to give you a scripture verse that I think will speak to this. And this is good whether you're religious or not. And it's right here at the very, very top. Let me try to zoom in a little bit for you, see if I can zoom. Let's see here. Let me unlock that first and I'll zoom. There we go. I zoom in a little bit. It's right here at the very top. the top line where it has 4. There we go. Let each one must examine his or her own work, and then he or she, let's get this right here. There we go. Let's put that over here. There we go. That's better. Let each one examine their own work, and then he or she will have reason for boasting in regards to, in regards to himself, right? I'm going to read it from my text. It says, but let each one examine his own work, and then he will have reason for boasting in regards to himself alone, right? Regards to himself alone, and not in regards to another person. For let each one bear his own burden. Now that scripture verse is in Galatians chapter 6, verse 4. And here's why that verse is important. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time just so you'll get it down. I wanted to get into your soul, and I wanted to get into your spirit, because there's some of you out there who are dealing with comparisons, and you are looking down on yourself because you're not where another person may be. When you allow the kind of negative emotion to overcome you, it kills the creative process. And when the creative process is killed, the ingenuity is killed, and it really causes damage within the soul. And what I mean by damage within the soul, it can cause you to lose your creativity and move further away from the purpose that you have in your life. And you begin to move into a dark place. And typically research shows that when you're not doing the thing that gives you light and makes you come alive, you typically substitute it with negative behavior. And so my goal is to really address the psychological problem that's coming upon you, because it stems with comparisons. And what makes the Bible here interesting is that the Bible is an ancient book, and these ancient books, just like, for instance, Stoic philosophy, Greek philosophy, and some of the other well-known ancient philosophies throughout the world and in different cultures and from different geographical locations, as far as that we have in language form, right? Shows that comparison is just not a good thing, because what it does is it puts you in a different stratosphere by which your lungs cannot cooperate. You can't breathe properly. You don't have the proper oxygen. And what I mean by oxygen, I mean it is a metaphor for life experience and background. So everyone has a different background. Everyone has different experiences. And there are people who have disadvantages and advantages that you do not have, or you do have. So think about it this way. This is why, constantly strolling through social media and making comparisons with yourself, which is what young people deal with all the time, right? I think it was a couple of years ago, may have been as long as 7 years ago, where word was out and research was being done about how young ladies, and probably young men as well, were having suicidal tendencies because they were looking at models who had been photoshopped and everything online and comparing themselves to that, right? And because of it, were having suicidal thoughts because they didn't feel like they were pretty enough or handsome enough, right? And this is how social media can be used in a very unauthentic way to present a picture that's not reality. That's how Facebook started. You remember the movie Social? You guys watched the movie Social Network with Mark Zuckerberg and the guy who started Facebook, him and his friend. It started out as a website called Face Smash, I think. Just watch the movie Social Network, and that whole website was taking pictures, people's photos from their class, and making these, making them like half animal, half human, and just really smashing people, and people thought it was hilarious and funny. All right, so again, one of the dangers of comparing ourselves with other people is that we lose who we really are. And that's the danger of that kind of comparison. Here's another reason why comparison is not good. Comparison is not good because what it does is it leads to envy. It leads to negative behavior. So it leads to envy. It leads to anger. And it leads to unhealthy comparisons. It leads to envy. It leads to anger. I'm sorry. And the third one is it leads to ungratefulness. It leads you into a place where you don't want to be, and which ultimately is something that that's negative for you. You begin to instead of self-assessment, which is what the text is telling us to do, instead of going into self-assessment, and self-assessment means this. Okay, so now we talked about the negative part. Let's talk about the solution. So instead of comparing yourself, that leads to unhealthy emotions, right? The flip side of that should be self-assessment, right? Self-assessment is that you are comparing yourself with yourself. Am I better? For instance, am I at a better place now than I was before? Am I at a better place now than I was last year? And that's what the text says, for each one should bear his own burden. Each one should bear his or her own load. And so I want you to think about, instead of comparing yourself, right, self-assess yourself. Focus on what is, are you at the place you want it to be at this particular time? And what resources, what behaviors, and what attitudes do you need to adjust and compensate for in order to put forth a better effort? That's what's more important. All right. Thanks for the thumbs up out there. God bless you. Feel free to make a comment. We'd love to chit chat with you guys on the back end. So that gives a more positive mental reaction versus a negative mental emotions. And when you get into self-assessment, right, you're able to deal with your own shortcomings in a very positive versus a negative way. So dealing with your own shortcomings in a positive versus negative way, which means you focus more on activities and behaviors that will put you closer toward the goal. So it's very, very measurable. So when you get it, when you're self-loathing because you're not where a person is, or if you look at a person, you look at people's relationships online, and you think about your relationship, and then you think, oh man, these people are miles ahead of you. Well, you don't know what's going on with these people behind closed doors. That's the truth, right? So you can't compare yourself with other people. And I know it's very hard not to do that because we are in a social media a world where everybody is showing you a cropped version of their real selves. And God is calling you to be your real self. How do I be my real self? Well, number one, understanding you have identity in Christ. Understanding that you have that you are uniquely made, that you have gifts, talents, and abilities that other people may not have. That you should spend more time focusing on developing your gift, talents, and abilities rather than focusing on the negative emotions that are stemming from you comparing yourselves to other people. So my word of caution and my word of encouragement, because I want to encourage you, I want to say to, if you're a content creator, focus on what makes you happy. That's what's important. What is it that gives you fire? And what is it that gives you the tenacity and the passion and the drive to get up every morning and create something that's going to add value? If you are a business person, well, you have to keep your hands to the plow, right? You have to be in the correct networks, right? Focus on putting yourself in networking with other people who are in your vein, who can help coach you along. If it's a relationship issue, then, Focus on getting to know the person that you're with, having open and honest dialogue, right? As I always like to say, I'm a huge proponent of working things out. So do the hard work of trying to make that relationship better, right? If you have a circumstance of like unforgiveness, right? Focus on showing grace to people, right? Because if you want to get grace, you got to give grace. Let the church say amen. So, yeah, I want to add value to you because I think these are important steps that we can move forward to in order to not compare ourselves with other people. That comparison leads to negative emotions. It leads to envy. It leads to jealousy. It leads to all kinds of social and mental health problems, right? So yes, there are people who are better than you. Let me give you a news flash. There are also people that you are better than, right? But see, when we do that, when we stack it like that, it's unhealthy, right? Because at the end of the day, it still provides a lens by which you're judging you're validating yourself by how good or how bad someone else is. I don't think that's good. And I'm not sure if a capitalism system that we live in really helps with that. But at the end of the day, if you are a believer or not, what's going on, man? How you doing? Linwood in his house. What's up, brother? Man, hey, good to hear from you, man. Hey, I think I read earlier that someone in your family had passed away. Hopefully I'm not like putting you on blast and it like that, but bro, yeah, I remember your parents, man. Growing up in Wakefield, bro. I remember your parents, brother. Great people you had. Hey, man, you were raised by great parents, bro. And so everybody who knows you, you'd be surprised. You probably don't really remember me that much. Man, I was a troublemaker back in the day. Don't tell nobody, man. I was a troublemaker back in the day, man. And so, both your parents passed away. Oh, bro, sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's tough, man. But man, I'm definitely, I'll say a prayer for you. Lord, just give him comfort and peace. Be with him as he goes through his loss. And I continue to pray for you, man. But how you doing, man? What's going on? Are you still in Wakefield, Waverly area? Yeah, I know you were big on hunting, right? Yeah. It's cool to talk to people from Waverly and Wake. Sometimes there's some other people that have come on to my lives before and just said hello. And some people remember me. A lot of people don't, strangely enough. I was really involved in a lot of stuff. You know how it is when you're young and you're mischievous and you're full of testosterone and, man, you do all kinds of stuff. But yeah, back in the day, man, I was a terror in my own way. And so, but hey, you in Dinwiddie now. Okay, cool. Oh, you in Dinwiddie. Okay. Yeah, man. Brother, man, I can't remember. You can't remember. Hey. All right, man. Thank you very much. Look what he said. Look said, bro, I don't even know who you are. Oh, that's hilarious, man. I'll tell you what. I'll say this, Linwood. I remember your parents, whether you remember me or not, brother. I charge it to your head, not to your heart. But what? But hey, man, no, yeah, I grew up on 31. I tell you, my family members, you probably know some of them. You probably know Sonara. She's on Facebook. That's my first cousin. You know, Aunt Biddy, who passed away. Lord rest her soul. Let's see, who else you might know. I'm sure you know some other people, man. Yeah, Aunt Biddy's, which is Sonara's daughter, which is my first cousin. Aunt Biddy and my dad were brother and sister. I lived off 31 on the greenhouse that my dad built back in the day. Um, I'm related to the Bailey family, so you grew up beside Ron Avery. Yeah, that's how I remember you. See, I was little. I don't know how old you are. I'm pushing 50, man. But so you grew up beside Avis and Ronnie. Yeah, we lived on the other side of Avis and Ronnie. So I grew up right beside Rodney, uh 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 Bishop. I think he's Bishop Gay. Shout out to Bishop Gay. Man, I gotta come preach for you sometime, Bishop. Yeah, oh, 44 copy. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, man, I played football, a little bit of football at Sussex because got in trouble so much, man. I only played JV and I was so in so much trouble I couldn't play varsity. So it's probably a good reason why you weren't around me. You see how God works in the house. Oh, wait a minute. Did you guys buy the house that my dad built? Did you? Oh, look, man, I think y'all did buy that house. That is what the greenhouse. Is it still? It's not green anymore, is it, Linwood? That is berserk, man. I think you're right. Yeah, bro. A lot of memories there, man. In 74. Yeah. Yeah. Roger that. In 74. Wow. Wow. In 74. Oh, it's blue now. Okay. Wow. 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 That's crazy, man. Look, I was born the year after I was born in 75. So, man, that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of memories, man. A lot of memories, bro. We had some challenges back then as a family, that's for sure. But the Lord helped us through that, man. And so yeah, I'm cousins with Robin. You probably remember Kenny Man. All of them, man. Chuck Bailey. That's all my people, man. So yeah, we were kind of like you know, I don't want to say outcast. I don't want to say outcast. I don't want to say outcast. But no, we just, we had some struggles back in there. We grew up, it was tough as a family, man. But well, we're all doing good now, man. God has blessed us, man, and God has helped us. And man, I'm so glad to connect with you, bro. And I definitely wish you the best. Be praying for you and your strength and your family. Yeah. Let's see, man. I played basketball with you, and what? Hold on. I thought you said you don't remember me, man. Didn't you say you didn't remember me? Did we play? I can't remember that. Man, I played basketball with you in the backyard. Bro, I can't remember that. I can't remember that. You know what I thought about? You know what, Linwood, I thought about recently? Man, you know what I thought about recently? I thought about buying a house out in Wakefield, just buying it and keeping it, just because my family roots are there. And yeah, I thought about buying a house, man, and keeping it out there, because I don't know, man. There's nothing like being back in that small town. You know what I mean? I mean, I moved away when I was young. I'm thinking around 12, 13, 14 is when I moved away. And I moved to Northern Virginia, man, and, play ball and all that kind of stuff, and did high school and had a good time. And that's kind of where my life change started. Like, so yeah, I used to hang out with, man, I can't remember. I can't, bro. That was a long time ago, dog. That was a long time ago, man. I can't remember. You don't remember me across the backyard. I can't, bro. But that was a long time ago. Charge it to my head, not my heart, man. So, yeah, my my heart, I tell you, I'll be honest with you, man. My heart is still there, bro. My heart is still there. So whenever I come back and visit, well, you live in Dinwiddie now, so but yeah, I don't go back often. My mom lives in the Richmond area now. My mom lives in the Richmond area, so I don't really have a reason to go back to Waverly Wakefield unless I go to Oak Grove, which is my family roots church as well. Oak Grove Baptist Church there in Mars Hill. AME's Zion Church was where my mom went to. My aunt Hazel, she was the preacher. She was a Pentecostal preacher. So man, roots are deep in Waverly Wakefield. So in Oak Grove, matter of fact, the stained glass windows have my great grandmom and all them people in the stained glass windows at Oak Grove, the new Oak Grove. So anyway, man, hey, I appreciate you coming through, man. I do. And please continue to connect, man. It's always good to reminisce a little bit, you know what I mean? The people who kind of know you, know where you came up. I always tell people, I tell my wife all the time that one of the disadvantages of the way my life kind of turned out is that I don't know what it's like to live in the same neighborhood or see the same people that I grew up with as a kid. Like I have different pockets of friends all over the United States. And it's cool, but also it's good to have your roots, man. And I definitely, man, miss Waverly, miss Wakefield, my roots in Wakefield for sure. And maybe one day I'll buy a little house out there or something like that where I'll stay every time I come out there and so forth and so on. So, man, bless you, man. And hey, everybody that's watching, now or later, appreciate you guys indulging. You guys be good, be blessed, man. Let me know if I can do anything to assist. I'm always just here to share value and add value to people, man. I believe in using these platforms to connect and create relationships. So, brother, peace to you, man. And everybody that's watching on YouTube and everywhere else, God bless you. Y'all be good. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord cause the wonderful divine face to shine upon you. May you experience peace. Peace. I almost hit the microphone. Yeah. May you experience peace in this life and in the life to come, man. And y'all be good. I'll see you guys soon. Take care of yourself. I'm out.